I was wrong. Again. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. A few weeks ago I made a video about how you can beat 10 out of the 15 RCT2 base game scenarios using just 4 tiles. At the end I claimed that while solutions might exist for 2 of the 5 that I wasn't able to solve, the other 3 were definitely impossible. This is the story of how that claim was proven wrong and how that leads to this track piece being worth over €1 million. Okay, so in that video I was not able to find a 4-tile solution for these 5 scenarios. I do have solutions for Empty Airfield and Rainbow Summit that would work if there was no time limit, which is why it could be entirely possible that a solution that does work fast enough does exist. The other 3 are Infernal Views, Ghost Town and Gravity Gardens, which I declared as being impossible. Infernal Views requires 10 different coaster types with at least 6 excitement, which is obviously impossible on just 4 tiles. Ghost Town requires 7 excitement and at least 1200 meters of length on those coasters, which is even more impossible. The third one, Gravity Gardens, requires you to pay back the loan and get a park value of 500,000. Clearing the loan is easy enough, but since park value comes from the right stat, you will obviously not be able to get enough when you can use just 4 tiles. Or can you? Rides actually aren't the only thing that gives park value. Guests do too, as every guest in your park is worth €7. This still isn't even close to being enough, as you can only get up to 9,601 guests in a park, which is less than 70,000 park value. There is also no functional ride that you can build on just 4 tiles, so you can't get any more than this. Unless you use OpenRCT2. In OpenRCT2 the guest limit is much higher at 65,136, which would give you over 450,000 park value. This is actually nearly enough, we only need about 44,000 more. And because of a very small change in OpenRCT2, we can now build a functioning ride. The compact inverted coaster has 3 available trains: standard, face-off and vertical shuttle cars. In vanilla they are actually 3 different coaster types, and in Gravity Gardens you only get the standard compact inverted coaster. OpenRCT2 though groups them together as one coaster type with different vehicle options, which includes combining the operating modes. In vanilla the inverted shuttle coaster and inverted vertical shuttle get the reverse inclined operating mode, which in OpenRCT2 you can now also use with the standard cars that you get in Gravity Gardens. With a single station piece and 1 upward track piece you can build a functioning coaster that provides exactly €1,280 worth of park value once you have multiple of them in your park. Dividing the 44,048 park value we still need by 1,280, we can see that we will need 35 of these coasters, which doesn't fit. The right entrance building is 4 units tall, so to stack 35 of these we would need 140 units of space, and the height limit of the game is only 126 units. I was already aware of all of this when I made my last video, which is why I declared it impossible. Quick side note about that video. A lot of you said in the comments that it's actually 5 tiles, as even though we only built on 4 tiles, the guests get expelled out of the exit onto a 5th tile before we pick them up, so we do need that 5th tile. You are all wrong. We don't need that tile at all. We can still pick up the guests if that tile is outside of the park boundary. In fact, even if the entire map was only 4 tiles and the guests were expelled into the void, we could still pick them up. That tile in front of the right exit does not need to exist for this setup to work, so this is a valid 4-tile setup. Also, quite a few people suggested using terrain to build a funnel so that we don't have to pick up the guests, but then you're altering more than 4 tiles, so you can't do that. Back to Gravity Gardens. We need to build 35 of these coasters to get to the goal, but that doesn't fit. Yet, here I am claiming it is possible to beat it. How? Take a look at this wooden coaster. It is brand new and provides 36,960 park value. Now keep watching the park value as I deconstruct the coaster piece by piece until there's only one station track piece left. It doesn't change. Even though this is just a single station piece that has no stats, it still provides the park value it was worth the last time it was tested. This is completely insane and was discovered by Nusse, the same person who discovered the 4-tile solution for extreme heights. This brilliant exploit, which also works in vanilla, allows you to pack a lot of park value in an absolutely tiny space, which is exactly what we need for Gravity Gardens. First we need to get rid of the guests and the pre-built wooden coaster, which is easily done with a few no entry signs and then manually picking up the few stubborn guests that don't want to leave. When that's done, we advertise a bit to get some guests while charging 50 euros for the entrance, meaning we make a lot of money. Once we have plenty of cash, we can build our 35 4-tile reverse inclined compact inverted roller coasters. We could fit a lot more than 35 if we raised the land, but even without doing that we can fit just enough, and this way it looks a lot nicer. After this we need to constantly run all ads for long enough to get to the 65,029 guests that we need to get to the 500,000 park value. Since we make a lot of money from the park entrance, we can obviously easily afford the ads, and to avoid having to do this manually for hours on end, I'm just going to use the cheat for infinite ad campaigns. It's still going to take quite a while to get there though, as the more guests we get, the more lag we get as well. After 16 years we have 23,000 guests and nearly €1,000,000 in cash, and at this point I'm tired of waiting, so I'm cheating in the rest of the guests. The results are the same anyway, and it's just a waste of time to actually wait for it. With nearly 65,000 guests in the park now, we're extremely close to the goal and only need a few more. When we finally reach the park value of 500,000, we'll have beaten Gravity Gardens in OpenRCT2 using just 4 tiles. Except not yet, as I forgot about the part where you need to pay back the loan, so let's do that and now actually beat it. We used some cheats to speed it up, but if you have more patience than I do, there is a valid 4-tile OpenRCT2 solution to Gravity Gardens. The coasters we used here are absolutely tiny, so let's now ditch all these constrictions and see how far we can take this. This is Micropark, a Rollercoaster Tycoon 1 scenario where, if you play it in OpenRCT2, you need to get a park value of 100,000 euros in 2 years. You can easily do this with a few super tall, super intense drop towers, but what if we wanted to annihilate the goal so hard even Voldemort's Horcruxes wouldn't be able to save it? A launched corkscrew coaster with a few loops gives a lot of park value for a very small price, and once we remove almost all of it, we will get almost all of the money we spent on it back. All the station pieces we do keep around will add up in cost, so while we research the corkscrew coaster, I'm going to make some money with a simple woody. Halfway year 1, it's time to start building all the corkscrew coasters and stash them away in the corner. To speed it up, I'm building multiple at once, which really is necessary as we only have about another 1.5 years to build all 255 coasters. It comes along really nicely though, but we run out of money at the start of the 2nd year, so let's make some more. I was building quicker than necessary, so we do have enough spare time to spend on making the money we need. Half a year later, it's back to building coasters, and this time I'm only building 2 at a time and building the station pieces on the ground in the space of the 3rd one in order to save money on support costs. In September year 2 we built the 255th scary corkscrew coaster and reached the ride limit. Because we are using OpenRCT2, we could actually go up to 1,000 rides, but I'm satisfied with reaching what the limit was in vanilla. These rides already provide us with over 9 million park value, 90 times the required goal. If anyone told me you can beat Micropark with a park value of 9 million, I would have declared them insane, yet here we are. When the date rolls over to March 1st, year 3, we don't beat the scenario, because I misremembered and we actually had 3 years instead of 2. All that hurrying for nothing. Oh well, at least we can just speed through that 3rd year as we have nothing to do. Usually this would age the ride more and make them lose park value, but because they were never opened, they don't age. A year later we do beat it and we have completely demolished the smallest scenario in the game. But what is the most park value we can get on a single track piece? The corkscrew coaster that we used in Micropark gives about 37,000 park value, which is decent, but we can do a whole lot better. This Giga Coaster has over 14 excitement, and if we remove the guests, demolish it piece by piece until we're left with just one track piece, it is worth nearly 82,000 euros. That's child's play though, as this Giga Coaster manages to reach over 92 excitement by exploiting the excitement bonus from airtime. It takes quite a while to destroy it and there is no way around this. We have to do it piece by piece in order to end up with a single track piece left. When it's finally done, the single track piece that is left is worth over 385,000 euros, which is a lot but still doesn't satisfy me. It's time to bring out the big guns. This coaster abuses the ride time overflow glitch to get a ridiculous average speed, which somehow gives it over 300 excitement. And combined with the airtime bonus, this gets it to the highest possible excitement rating in OpenRCT2 of 327.67. Destroying this gigantic Giga Coaster takes almost 15 minutes with an auto clicker at full speed and provides us with over €1 million in cash. Once it's finally been deleted, the most valuable single track piece ever has been created. This thing is worth €1,225,440. That is more than twice the goal of Gravity Gardens and over 12 times that of Micropark, all in just one measly €60 track piece. The moral of this story is, the harder you claim something is impossible, the harder someone will try to prove you wrong. So, today's claim is, it's impossible for me to get 1 million subscribers by the end of 2024. Feel free to prove me wrong. To see the video about beating scenarios in just 4 tiles, click right here. Thank you all for watching and I will see you in the next video.